Today we're going to take a look at what's going on in tech news. Let's get to it. If you're playing Minecraft on PC, maybe don't update the game right now. In a blog post titled, Game Release Known Issues for March 2024, the first line of the first issue says, "Do not download the recent update for Minecraft through the Xbox app for PC." It goes on to say that if you take the update, you might lose your worlds. There's a warning in the launcher as well, and they're asking players to use the Gaming Services Repair tool to back up their saves. To us, this is a pretty big deal. One of, if not the worst things that you can do to a gamer is delete their progress, and this bug does just that. Not only that, but asking gamers to run an external tool to circumvent an issue is a poor solution. There are many forum posts of gamers who took the update and lost their worlds. This doesn't bode well for our concerns about Microsoft's PC gaming efforts. We made a video about it a few months back, and we wondered if Microsoft was going to course correct in 2024, or if they were going to continue to not understand PC gaming. I think we have our answer. We're also wondering if this has anything to do with the massive layoffs that have rolled across their gaming division. Because how does something this egregious make it out the door and become our problem? Pocket Pair, the makers of Palworld, took to social media to announce that the game's first raid is coming soon. The raid is called Belle Noire, and while there are no other details, they did release a video as part of the announcement, and it looks like it'll be an open world encounter that players can kick off. The video does say that along with Belle Noire being a new raid battle, it's also a new PAL. Having put well over 100 hours into the game here at Overload headquarters, we were pretty excited by the announcement, and it looks like we're not alone, because their Discord server and subreddit filled up with a lot of positive responses immediately after the video went live. The Strong's International Center for the History of Electronic Games announced the new finalists for inclusion in the 10th class of its World Video Game Hall of Fame. A quote from their director, Jean-Paul C. Dyson, reads, "The finalists this year have the honor of competing to be in the 10th class of inductees to the World Video Game Hall of Fame. Even 10 years in, there's no shortage of deserving contenders that have had enormous influence on pop culture or the game industry itself. These games span decades. Asteroids is an icon of the late 70s arcade. Misc showed the potential of CD-ROM technology in the 90s. Neopets became a staple of browser-based free games as we entered the 2000s. And Guitar Hero, which is less than 20 years old, has already proven its staying power." While this batch of inductees seems pretty archaic, there's no denying their impact. Here at Overload headquarters, we're rooting for Ultima. EA may have let the name wither and die, but the original 9-game series pushed the boundaries of what we thought was possible in RPGs, and modern role-playing games wouldn't be where they are now without them. Fans can vote for their favorite finalists up through March 21st as part of a Player's Choice ballot at worldvideogamehalloffame.org. Before we get to the rest of the video, I want to mention our Patreon. As a subscriber, you'll be listed as a producer of our content. You'll also get access to our custom game cover art that we've put together over the years. You'll likely see it in action in some of our videos. This art works great with custom launchers and really goes a long ways in making a digital game collection look awesome. So click on the link below, head on over to our Patreon, and become a producer today. Okay, back to the video. Star Wars Battlefront Classic had a pretty bumpy launch, and gamers were not happy. While the biggest issue early on was the lack of game servers available, there's a host of other issues being reported. Server stability, severe in-game lag, split screen not working, awards not popping. These are just a handful of the reoccurring issues that we saw over at Aspire support and the Steam discussion boards. Another curious item about this game is the 50 to 70 gig install size. The original game and its sequel were a combined 7 gigs. That's 10 times the space requirement. To add to the frustration, the updates for the game have been upwards of 20 gigs each. Depending on your internet connection, you may or may not have enough time to go do some laundry and make a sandwich while you wait. At the time of this video, it looks like they've mostly addressed the server availability issues, but it also looks like the updates may have caused a few regressions as well. Regardless, this isn't how we want to see games launch. You get one chance to make a first impression, and instead of that first impression being about the game itself here, it's about the technical issues that the game forced players to deal with. Valve announced a new feature called Steam Families, and it's now available through the Steam beta client. From the release, when you join a Steam family, you automatically gain access to the shareable games that your family members own, and they'll also be able to access the shareable titles from your library. The next time you log into Steam, this new family library will appear in the left column as a subsection of your games list. You maintain ownership of your current titles, and when you purchase a new game, it'll still show up in your collection. Steam Families also includes updates to parental controls and child purchase requests. We did note a couple of items in the release. First, you can have up to 6 people in your Steam family, and this is a limit that Valve is going to monitor and adjust as needed. Second, this has a concurrent player limitation, in that you can only have one person playing a game per copy owned in the library. So if one person in a 6-person Steam family owns Portal 2, then only one person can play it at a time. But if 4 people in that same family own Portal 2, then 4 people can play it at a time. Third, if a family member gets banned while playing a copy of a game, you, the game owner, will also be banned in that game. And the last thing that stood out to us was that developers can choose to opt out of having their games available here, so no EA Sports games for your siblings. And with over 8,000 layoffs in the game industry so far since January 1st, the 2024 Game Developers Conference is underway, which should make for some interesting hallway chat this time around. This year's GDC is actually going to have some info there to address the layoff issue, but at $2,500 to get access to the presentations and sessions, we're not sure how many people who were just laid off are actually going to want to drop that kind of cash into an event like this. Still, it's nice that they aren't simply ignoring the situation and pressing forward as if nothing's wrong, because there's definitely something wrong with the game industry right now. Just take a look at GDC 2024's State of the Game Industry survey. 1/3 of developers said that they've been impacted by layoffs, and more than half are concerned that they're going to see more. This isn't the headspace that you want your teams to be in when making interactive art. And that about wraps things up. Please like this video if you found it useful, and subscribe to our channel if you want more content like this. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this, and we'll chat again soon.